Well, another week has gone by and making some progress. Beautiful day today. It's going to be like 85 degrees. So we went from heater on in the mornings to air conditioner on afternoon. So went from winter to spring or spring to summer or something right away. Anyway, it's a Wednesday afternoon and they've just finished texturing the walls inside. So during this week we got the wall, they completed the last weekend they completed putting in the drywall, and they started taping on Saturday, and they finished taping yesterday and came in and, like I said, textured it with a orange peel finish today. So it's ready to paint. They said it'll be dry tomorrow, so they could actually start painting tomorrow. So I don't know when the painter is going to show up. Also in the garage, we've been putting plywood up to the 8-foot level. Haven't completed that yet, but the wife Sharon and I are doing that, and we put up 4 or 5 sheets a day, and that's good enough. Working our way around, so we've got a couple more days left. Maybe only one day, but a couple days left of doing that. We'll take a look at that. So anyway, a day has gone by. We've actually got wires and plugs installed into the floor power units. So when we get power finally turned on here in the garage, is we've got power, except for these blue ones here, because we don't know the end of the 240 volt. So I'll have ground power for all of my woodworking area. And they've gone another day of drywall, taping and putting mud on, and so starting to look pretty good. Here's the firewall out in the garage. Into the front room, it's looking pretty good. It's pretty smooth. And we're down to about less than half the mud that we had to start with. But you can see they still got sand in some areas, and TV room looks pretty good. Kitchen. So it's hard to see, but this is the completed walls, and the texture is still wet. That's what they call an orange peel finish. And the whole house is complete, including ceilings. I think it looks really nice. I'm used to what's called a knockdown, and they call it a Monterey knockdown here, but Sharon selected orange peel, and I think it looks good. So whole house is done. They did a quick sweep and clean up, but since they're spraying the ceiling, you know, it gets everywhere in your hair and what have you. So here's the sewing room. It's all done. And then the office, or third bedroom, and the master bedroom. Okay, into the garage. Rented a lift so we can put all of the UFO lights. So all of these UFO lights, 1, 2, 3, 4 in each row, and then have 4 rows. So there's 16 UFO lights hanging up in here. I'm told they're very bright. I haven't even seen these lit, so I'm told that this place would be like daylight in here. And here's the lift again, being pushed around, so it's moved back and forth, and then back here into the corner. So we start putting plywood on the walls up to the 8-foot mark, so they'll So I'll have wood backed walls so I can drill and put stuff onto the walls. And I just got that stack of plywood today, so we'll be starting on that tomorrow in my spare time. So here's the garage where we're talking about putting plywood up to the 8-foot level. And I think it looks nice. We've got around the room in our last 2 bays here. 2.5 bays actually got to do around the one window, but the front door sitting right there, huge front door. And so we got this bay and bay behind the door and above the window to complete. And then around the safe room. But I think I didn't order enough plywood because I did all my calculations on 8-foot sheets. Unfortunately, most of the bays on the walls are only 7 feet, 7.5 feet, or even 6 foot here for where the window is. So you have a lot of pieces cutting off the plywood, so you lose that. So I'm hoping I have enough plywood here, and I don't think I do. I think I'm 3 or 4 sheets short. So we'll see when I get to it. Or I may take all these pieces and this back wall here of the safe room. I may use all of these oddball pieces. Haven't made that decision yet. We got quite a few, and they won't be seen. And the only decision now is whether we paint the plywood or throw just a coat of poly on top of it to seal it. But if I leave it wood looking, it matches all the beams above the door and even the trusses. So I'm thinking about doing that, or I'm thinking about painting it gray to match the fire retardant that's above it. So anyway, gotta make that decision later. Well, that completes this week. I was hoping to have the power hooked up this week. The utility company said that they would be here last week or this week, and they haven't showed up yet. So hopefully, 2 days left in the week, hopefully they'll arrive and get that done. So that would be very nice, because we're still running on temporary power. And